What's going on, everybody? This is Mike over at Vape It Up, and today I got a cool little vlog. I'm getting some drink on, I'm getting my vape on, got a cool new little toy for myself. And to help kick the vlog off today, I have a special guest. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Get over here, get over here. Ah, hello, hello. Who are you?
Allie.
And who are you to me?
The problem you don't sleep.
Yeah, you are the reason I don't sleep at night. This is my daughter, Allie. What else did I teach you to say? Welcome?
Welcome to 5 Club.
5 Club? I like it. And what is 5 Club called?
The VaperFly.
And what's the last thing?
Let's keep it going.
Alright, everybody. So yeah, that was my daughter. She wanted to help me out on a vlog, and I promised her that she could somehow. And what better way than the intro? And damn, isn't she cute? I'm in trouble later, so, you know, deal with it now, drink with it now. Which leads me to, as always, I start off, what am I drinking today again? A tequila sunrise, because tequila. And sunrises. And the juice that I'm vaping on is actually Eat Those Crispy Treats. It is a delicious treat. And my RX 200 and my Petri version 2 dot mod. I have the box right here. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Absolutely freaking love it. I had been wanting this thing for a while, and I got it. Right now I'm running a braided coil. Post a picture of it right now on somewhere, because I never seem to be able to post it where I say I'm going to. But yeah, I'm running this thing at 130 watts with some braided coils at a 0.12, so it is vaping beautifully. I made sure to get the dot mod drip tip because I heard so much about it, and it is worth all of the hype. Damn. This RDA produces flavor like no other RDA I think I've ever had. It's dense, it's not too hot, it's warm. At 130 watts I'm pulling 3.95 volts, which is a little bit lower than normal for me, but oh, it's so damn good. So damn good. One more little toot on it. Oh, kind of blocked my light for the background. Either way, I'm still waiting on my other background to come in so I can get rid of the sheet. But whatever. So excited about the Petri. I talked about drinks, talked about what I'm vaping and all that good stuff. One other thing, I've been looking at how the videos are doing, and Mondays, the videos seem to be doing a lot better than on Fridays. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to stop doing them on Fridays, and I will just be focusing on Mondays. And I do hope to be bringing in some other type of videos randomly. So that would be cool. Mondays will be vlog days from here on out, opposed to Mondays and Fridays. Nixon Friday, because we all going out. Instead of me sitting around and recording on Wednesday and Thursday and whatnot. I mean, Friday, you know what I mean? But, yeah, so no more Friday vlogs. Sorry. Either way. And, last but not least, this vlog is going to be unofficially brought to you by the Culture of Clouds podcast, featuring Grim Green and Ruby Roo. Thanks to both of you. I believe I've mentioned you before on this thing about the podcast, and I love it. It's something that I've wanted to find for a long time, and they made it. Definitely go check it out. Link will be in the description. Check them out on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever they're at. Go everywhere. Listen to them. If you find 4 different outlets, listen to the same thing 4 times. It is freaking awesome. Alright, so let's get into some topics for today. There's nothing really that I have on here that is to read off of the computer. I just have my notes. It's just really stuff to talk about, so not going to be a big link dump in this one. So, first thing that I want to talk about is the potential ban that could have happened from the FAA. For the longest time, we have not been able to have vaping stuff, whether it be batteries, mods, none of it on your check-in bags at the airports, which is completely understandable. To me, underneath in the plane, it is not pressurized like the cabin, so really the batteries, whenever it comes down to it, and possibly even juices, the pressure is going to change so much. Temperature, this and that. it's all going to be way different than ideal situation, just like in the cabin, in the airport, in your home, in your local shop, anything like that. But what they wanted to add to it was even your carry-ons, that you could not bring anything, even if it didn't have batteries. Even that. So you would have to fly, go on vacation, go anywhere without it. You'd have to mail it ahead of time or bum stuff while you're there. And that sucks, but luckily it did not pass. So good job to everybody that voiced out about that and got that shut down. That is big. I do not fly out that often, although sometime in the near future I will probably be flying once or twice a month if all goes well. More details will be on that in later vlogs. It's some big stuff that I got going on. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of stupid. It's like saying, hey, no cell phones. No cell phones on planes. Buy a new one when you get there. Deal with it. You know, don't have one. Whatever. It's kind of dumb. It's as long as they're being, the people, the vapors are being safe about it, there shouldn't be that big of a problem. And luckily, they're not going to cause any problems for us. So that's great. Just make sure that you are following guidelines for the carry-on luggage. You can check that out probably over at TSA or whatever airline you may be flying with, or the airports. You can find all that there and figure out exactly what you need to do. Last time that I checked, batteries had to be in one bag labeled. Your mods had to be in another bag labeled, all clear bags. Juices labeled in a clear bag, which is fine. I mean, why are you going to vape on a plane? That's just rude. How rude. But yeah, so let's get on to the next thing. Alright, and the next thing, I've brought it up once or twice, and I believe it was the 10th that this update got pushed and available for download, but the RX200 is now, to me, the RX250. Because, yeah, the new 3.1 update software can go up to 250 watts. Now, I vape at 130, but I am running a low resistance 0.12. So if I go to 250, it's 5.47. That's how fast that is. It is insane. And I will take a little toot, a little pull on it for you, just to show you. It's not the most enjoyable. However, I think if I had something like the Temple, the Buddha, the big ass 30mm, if I had like 5mm inner diameter coils in there, that might be something that 250 could be usable with, because it'll have enough cotton in there, enough space for it to continue to juice. Right now it just doesn't past a second or so, but check it out. Here's at 250 watts. Whew. It wasn't dry, but it wasn't far from it. I could probably get one more pull off of it. That is a monster for what it is. And I don't particularly enjoy it at 250. The flavor's not so great. But I was surprised by the Petri and how well it handled it at 250. Not that it wouldn't, but in terms of airflow and all that kind of stuff, it did really, really well. But yeah, it's just 250. I was a little disappointed that they did not go ahead and drop it to maybe a 0.08 lowest resistance. Which, I mean, in terms of temperature, I don't care, but there wasn't a whole lot there that they could have done. But I would have liked to see a 0.08 minimum resistance. That would have been nice. And it might have made 250 watts more legitimate in my eyes. Because 250, what are we doing with 250? Let me know in the comments if you do run that high and what you're using. How are you running 250 watts? Let me know. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I've had it for a few days now. I have not noticed any issues with the firmware. I haven't noticed any, you know, inaccuracies in terms of voltage to wattage and resistance. Temperature control I don't use very much, but I did use it after the update just to find out if everything was right, and everything seems to be spot on. This is a solid ass update so far, about 4 or 5 days in. So if everything goes well with that, then great. I know that on certain software like the e-cig, the version 3 on the e-cig Mini was a little janky, so I had to downgrade it to version 2 again, and then the newest one, whatever it is. So that was a little bit of a pain in the ass. I don't like whenever updates come out and they're not ready. They haven't been fully tested. I don't like being a guinea pig. I want the final product. I don't want the, let's find out in the comments or in the emails. So, you know, cool. Wismic, thumbs up to you. Badass update. Let's get on to the next thing. Yeah, so the next thing I wanted to talk about isn't really one of those. It's not a news issue. It's not a advocacy thing. It's just something that I run into a lot. Working at a shop, I've worked at 2 different shops in the past 3 years. But you always run into the people that, well, I can get it cheaper online. And you know what? You're right. Nothing wrong with that. If you are a budget vapor, then by all means, go for it. If you want the RX200 for 40 bucks, go online. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. But maybe a little biased because, you know, working in shops for the past, you know, 2 or 3 years. The issue that I have is the same issue with anything in any industry, for the most part, is sure you may pay more at your local shop, but what you're paying for is the service. You're paying for the ability to say, hey, it's been 3 days, no user error, it just messed up. You don't have to worry about shipping it off, if they'll even allow it to get another one or a return. Anything like that, you don't have to worry about it. You can go into your shop, and hopefully they will help you out in every way possible. And if it is a defect and it hasn't been a long amount of time, then hopefully they would exchange it for you, or, you know, offer some alternative. They will fix it. Online, you can't really do that, and that's kind of a money and convenience. Which one? I believe in paying for convenience. We all do it anyway. Really? I mean, you could go to the car wash where you actually do it yourself and spend $5, or you can go spend $10 and just sit in there while it does it for you. Paying for convenience. Pizza delivery, we pay an extra $2-3 in most cases. Why? Convenience. We pay for convenience all the time anyway. I understand that those are a lot less, you know, than $20-30, but this is something they're going to use all the time, every day, so why wouldn't you want to spend a little bit extra for the insurance, in a sense, of being able to go to the shop that you bought it from and say, hey, what happened? Hey this, hey that. I've seen some shops that say if it wasn't purchased there that they won't work on it. Now they'll help you in saying, well, maybe you should try this and try that, but they won't actually say, okay, let me see it, you know, let me take this apart, let me make sure that there's nothing messed up, let me check the chip and do all of that. And you know what? I actually get that. Normally I'd say kind of a dick move, but the same person to me that absolutely refuses to spend the money in a local shop, even if they have it, I understand if it's, I go to college, I don't make a whole lot of money, it's just a spare job, 20 hours a week, but I want this, so I had to get it online because it's cheaper. You know what? This does not apply to you. To the people that are like, well, yeah, I could go buy it in a shop, but I'm just going to pinch pennies and do it online because, you know, it's cheaper. Is the issue of, like, if something really messes up, if a shop is one of those that won't repair it because you refuse to buy it in the shop, even though you could have, chances are you're the same person that if it doesn't fix, you're well, look, you took it apart and it's not working. How do I know that you didn't mess it up even more? And it's bullshit, but people do it. I mean, everybody's going to say, oh, that's not me, but to certain people, it's you. Not dogging on anybody, but it's true. I mean, there's certain people that if the waiter gets their order, if they forget to put something in, they're either going to tear him an asshole or say, no problem, just if you can, fix it and get it out to me as soon as possible. Or my steak was overcooked and they bitch out the waiter, even though he had nothing to do with it. It's the cook that did it wrong. So, just, it's one of those, I personally, for random spare parts, like if I need an extra glass, maybe an extra drip tip, you know, a pack, you know, big bundle of cotton or stuff like that, I'll go online sometimes. But for hardware and all that kind of stuff, I stick to local shops. And if I can't find something like this Petrie, that was a bitch of a time to find one locally. Could not do it. Ended up getting it over at VapeCon in San Antonio. I had somebody get it for me. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. Otherwise, there would have been a con vlog over here. But yeah, in-store, online, what are the advantages and disadvantages, why and why not, to each one? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so with that, on to the final little thing that I want to get onto, and that's firmware updates. It seems to be a constant thing so far in the vlogs, but it's been a constant topic online that I've seen. So in terms of firmware updates, there's been a lot of issues with people doing this, doing that, to the e-cig minis, to the cuboids. I've even seen Wismix and stuff like that. And the problem is they're doing all of this stuff and they're bricking. They're just turning into useless things. It sucks. I've seen one or two little workarounds where on the cuboid you could hold power and up and then plug it in at the same time, and it'll reboot software. You can load the previous software versions that was actually made for it. Not exactly sure. I have not had to mess with it. I'm going to actually wait until something more comes out, something more solid, something more viable, I guess you could say. It's kind of like jailbreaking on the iPhone. It's almost exactly like that. I'm waiting for something stable to come out. I've found one website that posts a lot of stuff about use this, use that, and this and that, but I'm just it's a little sketchy so far to me. Would it be cool? My wife is a big Sailor Moon fan. She uses the e-cig Mini, and I think it'd be awesome to have it with the Sailor Moon logo on the top. I think that would be cool. I think she would love it. But at the cost of the e-cig, not cool enough. Not yet, anyway. So whenever you're doing all this kind of stuff, you're altering the coding, the firmware, all that crap, know that you are running a risk. It's just like anything else. I'm sure it's going to void a warranty. If you can't get it back, you're just going to have to buy a new one, or just wait. And just weigh the risk and the reward. Is it worth playing Flappy Bird on your e-cig? Is it worth having your favorite TV show's emblem on there? Is it worth it? If it's your only mod, I wouldn't do it. If it's just a, say you have an e-cig Mini, you got a cuboid, you got a Wismix, and you don't really use the e-cig and you want to try it, you know what? Maybe, go ahead, try it out. I mean, what's it gonna hurt other than the mod? But if you have all the other ones, you have backups, then go for it. Just be careful while you're doing it. It's really the biggest thing, because there are risks, there are rewards. Just gotta weigh them out. This isn't an incredibly long one. This is a shorter one. I do have a lot of stuff that I've been working on, doing all this kind of stuff outside of the vlogs, which, if all goes well, I will, explain them in the vlogs, and I will tell you guys about it. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog. Thank you, everybody, for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and all that good stuff. And with that, as always, I want to remind everybody, vape safe, vape careful, and keep on vaping it up.